the men, so I gave him the night off. You were just not on the card tonight because I didn't want to see you until I got that publisher money.
There is no getting rid of me, Toddy. I think you would have learned that by now.
There is no getting rid of you now. The biggest ovation in our locker room comes from the Den of Desire. But yeah, get well soon, Blizzy Blake. He'll be here wrestling tomorrow. You'll be wrestling tomorrow night, huh? You're gonna grace us with your presence tomorrow.
If you can call it wrestling. I'm gonna make short work of what I have to do.
880 Wrestling, if you can call it wrestling. Of course, tomorrow, Frankie's Friends benefit show by Big Honey Productions. Frankie's Friends, the cat agency down the road, I guess you would say. That's where Brother the Cat came from. All the proceeds tomorrow will go towards Frankie's Friends. But right now, I can barely hear myself talk and think from this reaction, John.
Chat saying to raise your audio.
Well, we heard that all over the mic. The chat saying raise my audio.
You know, I always want a louder me, so I'm all for it. Chat, you finally said something right after all the awful, terrible things you've said about me in the past. Oh, but not as awful as what Paris is doing to Marco right here.
We're trying. Our audio was up before, and then it wasn't. I don't know what happened. But right now, in the ring, Paris Sahara, Marco Narciso. This is really a street fight. Yeah, get on that. I can see right now that John is bringing up the chat on his phone. So if you're on the YouTube chat, make sure you shout down John.
Well, this is all very offensive. Yeah, Matt Productions. We're not going to boo me, no, loser. Thank you, Emily. My mic is not loud enough. In fact, we could just mute Tommy if that helps.
I'm sure that chat says let's mute Toddy. Is that the chat said let's mute Toddy? Is that? There's no way I believe that.
I actually think it's a very, I don't even have to read it. I'm pretty sure they're all fans, especially of the empty tag rope.
Yes.
In stores now.
Yeah. You mentioned your books. It's hard to find in stores currently.
True.
Yeah, I actually have the same question. Why is it so hard to find in stores?
Sold out.
Sold out,
Sold
you
out.
say.
When the paperback edition comes out, don't worry. Maybe I'll throw a few to these fans here.
So that's why no one can find it in stores?
That is exactly why.
That's the only reason? Okay.
Only reason.
The long appendages of Paris Sahara working on Marco. Now Paris and Marco, this isn't new new blood here. These two have been at each other's throats here for on and off for like a year.
You know, Paris before this match was telling me she could not wait to finally shut Marco Narciso up with a big win.
Little drive-by tramp stamp there for Narciso. You know so much about Paris. Why don't you know where her crown is?
Where do you think Joe Murphy is? He's on the case.
Where? I don't think about Joe Murphy when he's not here, to be honest with you.
He's solving all of 880's greatest mysteries, and if you read the empty tag rope, you would know that.
Kicks to the chest by Narciso.
Oh.
And here we go. If you haven't seen it before, get closer to your computer screens, because what we have is a full package. Count it off.
The way Marco hooks your arms with his legs, your face is going right into the mat.
Yeah, I've seen a few full packages to you, John.
Yeah, I've taken, I think, more than any, and I can say it hurts.
You've taken more full packages than anyone?
Than anyone.
Wow. Kick to the chest there by Paris. Heard it here first. More full packages than anyone he has taken. Oh, gosh. Showing off the cake here on TNF is Paris. Very devilish. Bounce against the ropes here. Oh!
She is the melanated Cersei. Look at the poise, the power.
I often say Paris Sahara has an aura around her that's 3 feet wide. You know when she comes into the room. Oh! Nothing in the pull there. Oh. Narciso gets up. She's caught in a split there. Shotgun basement drop kick. And now we're just ripping at each other's hair now, John. Bounce against the ropes. Oh! Kick to the gut. Knocking all the wind out of Narciso. Hooked up. A little bit of a fisherman suplex. Dominant cover, too. We've already seen Zeke Mercer victorious earlier this evening. Want to know is the matriarchy. Imagine if they won 2 matches tonight, what the hype they would get coming into the 27th. I meant to ask you about the 27th. What's the deal with Buddies Incorporated on the 27th?
You know, so we may not have formally challenged the Creeps yet.
Okay.
But we did get the logo on the poster, so I'm very optimistic that it's actually going to happen.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, you are on the poster, so that's not a formal match.
Well, my publisher paid to get it out there.
Oh, your publisher.
And I'm
We're
very
crossing our
hopeful.
fingers.
I mean, who wouldn't want to face a world-famous author and the world's greatest detective?
I don't know that Creeps do. Is that what you're trying to tell me? They're not, like, on this happening?
No. They've been given paperwork by the publisher. I'm sure they're signed. It's all formality.
Okay. Huh. Well, the formality in the ring right now, too.
This match is a formality. It is obvious that the matriarchy, specifically Paris Sahara, has their number. The Den has no shot against them.
Well, as long as you and your publisher keep filling up my Venmo, you can say whatever you want on the headset. But I say with authority that the Den of Desire, Marco Narcissi specifically, has a bright future here at 880 Wrestling. In the future, I mean the recent future.
Marco has a viciousness that not many would expect from his entrance, but once he gets in there, he can go, and he will fall apart if you underestimate him.
With a hair flip DDT. 2! Oh! Yo!
Evening the odds. Evening the odds. I'm glad to see Zeke here.
I'm glad to see Blake here. Get Zeke off the apron, Blake. There we go. There's
what
Brandon.
is going on? Of course, the numbers game.
Well, the Den of Desire and the Fourth Line's relationship, it's very questionable, but what's not questionable is the roll in the ring. Count it up, Narciso victorious. What a reaction from our audience.
I cannot believe it. Those tactics, that distraction, conspired with Lizzie Blake to cost Paris that match.
You'd be one to know conspiracies.
Hacienda cheated.